Yes, we are live. We are live here in beautiful Cleveland. And guess what? Hold on, we got to play the fight song on this one. We got to play the fight song in this one. That's Group 4 and 12. It doesn't matter. It's something that's still effect, baby. Damn it, feels good to beat Pittsburgh. Damn it, feels good to win. Damn it, feels good to have complimentary Buffalo for once here in this beautiful city. So we smoking that Steelers pack. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Browns playing in the background, wearing the Browns jersey. Steelers take the L. I don't care if they're going to the playoffs or not. We beat it. Run it back, baby. Because we're smoking the Steelers pack. And I don't smoke in my house. I have a rule against smoking in my house. But it's a special occasion. Because the Pittsburgh Steelers thought they had the division on lock. I don't care if Myles Garrett didn't get the sack or not. They thought they had the division on lock. And they didn't. Aaron Rodgers talking mess to Browns players after the game. I think it was Shelby. So, no, yes. Let's take one more hit before I put this out. Smoking that Steelers pack, baby. Welcome to the nosebleed section. I am your host, Tyrell. Special occasion. As I put this cigar out. AFC North traditional football, where the Cleveland Browns come out on top against that team from Pennsylvania, against against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Aaron Rodgers undefeated against the Browns no more. Make sure this is out all the way. We don't want to start no fires. We feeling good here. Last game of the Big 2-5, and we get a dub against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You got to be excited about that. If you're a Browns fan, this season has been tough. It's been rough like any other season. It really has. But my God, to get a dub, to get a win, and to potentially, we got to see what's going to happen next week, because it is like literally the battle of who we hate the most, right? Who do we hate more? Do we hate the Baltimore Ravens more, or do we hate Pittsburgh more? We obviously don't want to see neither one of these teams going to the playoffs. But damn, does it feel good to like play spoiler and be a part of like potentially fucking things up for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Like, it feels amazing. I just put the cigar out. That deserves another hit right there. Thank you all for coming in, whether you're staying for the whole show or just like popping in or anything like that. Welcome. Let's change the lighting up in this place. Let's change the lighting up in here real quick. Get that Cleveland Browns orange popping. Got the Notre Dame light on. The camera's still making adjustments to it. As y'all can see, got some wording on the whiteboard for an upcoming video that's happening this week. Make sure y'all hit that like button, share, comment, subscribe, do the whole 9 yards. Because we got fresh content coming up. And instead of doing week 18 prediction, we'll talk about some of the games. But instead of week 18 predictions, we're just going to talk about the coaching hot seat. So that's some of that. So a little bit of spoiler alert. It's going to be a whiteboard video. But yeah, welcome to the nosebleed section. We got a lot to cover. Obviously, it doesn't matter if it's a win, loss, or indifferent. We got the good, the bad, and the ugly. And today was arguably like the first half, or like the first like 45 minutes of this game was complimentary football, and then the defense just showed his ass out. And you can clearly tell that the Pittsburgh Steelers missed DK Metcalf. We know what happened with that. He's suspended for the next 2 games. And to be honest with you, that could cost Pittsburgh a chance to go to the division. We have talked about this all year long. We have said it on the show. If you guys watch All Ground Sports, this entire season, this has been Pittsburgh's division to lose. And we might be witnessing that next Sunday or Saturday. I don't think they released when the game is supposed to take down. As of now, Sunday, 1 o'clock from what I'm seeing, subject to change. Who knows if it gets flexed to a Saturday or not. But this is what the Browns do against Pittsburgh when we play Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. I wish we play like this when we go to Pennsylvania, right? But this is what we do when we play here, right? Since 2017, they mentioned this a lot. We've mentioned this before. They mentioned this on the broadcast, how Pittsburgh has lost four out of the last 6. Make that 5 out of the last 7. You got to include the 1 tie and the 1 win. But the Browns are literally 6-1-1 against Pittsburgh since 2017. Since 2017. You got to love it. You got to love it. So let's take a sip of water. If you guys missed it, we smoked that Steelers pack. Cigars out, so we're safe. We're safe. We're safe. Obviously, we're going to go over Kevin Stefanski's comments. We're going to go over Shedor's. We're going to look at our victory speech, right? And we're not going to break down like the body language or anything like that. But let's answer this question right here. Because I have been seeing that talk online because us Browns fans get really excited about beating the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's like, yeah, Baltimore took our team, but we still get more excited about playing Pittsburgh. We still get more excited when we beat Pittsburgh than when we beat Baltimore. And I'm seeing a lot of this might have saved Kevin Stefanski jobs. Do I think it saved Kevin Stefanski's job? Does the nosebleed section think it saved Kevin Stefanski's job? I want to know. I want to hear it. I want to see what y'all think in the comment section. I'm gonna put it up on the screen what y'all think. I personally don't think this saved Kevin Stefanski's job. I think it's might have put the conversation on pause. It might have reevaluated the conversation. And if he does keep his job, especially if they beat the Cincinnati Bengals next week, we could point to today as the reason why Stefanski stayed. So maybe this is a short-term, big long-term loss. Who knows, right? But the one thing that we do know, that Kevin Stefanski's job is on the line. Plain and simple. And he managed the game today like his job was on the fucking line. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. I don't think this, like I said, I don't think this necessarily saved his job. But I do think it reevaluates the conversation. I think it gives him a chance to keep his job. Plain and simple. I think it gives him a chance to keep his job. So let's go through the good, the bad, and the ugly on 3 sides of the ball, right? And the coaching. So four factors to go good, bad, and ugly. Is there good? There's a bad, there's an ugly. Let's find out. Let's talk about it right now. The offense. The good was the first 45 minutes of the game. They were clicking for the most part on all cylinders, considering going against one of the better defenses in the league. They drove down the field, was able to get a field goal. Then they was able to drive down the field. That pass that Shedeur made to Harold Fannin was a massive quack duck. But Harold Fannin, the ability of Harold Fannin, being able to locate that ball, being able to catch that ball, because that's not an easy ball to catch, right? And to have the awareness, and it might have been part of the momentum as well of him falling down, but to have the awareness to roll into the end zone untouched was a veteran move. Because in college, when you're down, right? Doesn't matter if somebody touches you or not. In college, you're down. So the rookie rolling into the end zone to secure that touchdown instead of staying at the 1-yard line and everything like that was an absolutely veteran presence move for Harold Fannin, right? So, we got to discuss, the Browns, for the most part, that first portion of the game, very well run machine in the sense, what we're compared to what we're used to seeing, right? We ran the ball strong that first part of the game. Where the hell has Sanders been? Again, we said this last week, Sanders should have been playing more this year. I mean, it just shows. The only person who can really bring him down on first contact was Cam Hayward. That was it. They were able to run the ball efficiently, considering how bad this offensive line is, right? And again, transition over to the bad side, it's just the discipline stuff, right? and that's just an overall game thing. But like Samson burns out that like hits that 22-yard run, get a holding call. Our center ball starts. You know, they're like worst possible penalties. But the thing I am noticing, and I think a lot of people should be noticing, is the fact that like for some reason, as something finally clicked with the Browns, whether it's coaching or the players or whatever it may be, outside that stupid ass taunting penalty that number 5 had, which was absolutely fucking stupid. Like we had all the momentum right there. We'll get to that, right? Like outside of a few things and like just ill-timed penalties again. Like the last couple of weeks, like we haven't seen the amount of quantity penalties that we used to seeing with a Kevin Stefanski team, but the quality of the penalty and when that penalty happens is what is being a detriment to the team overall. Like Samson hitting that 22-yard run just for a holding call was like a shake my head moment, slap of the head moment, because like that was such a momentum kill. Like they didn't stop and run at that point in the game. They had contained the run. Fan is out. We really can't really drive down the field because again we have issues at separations at time. You know, and everything like that. But like overall, like this is crazy. This is crazy. Like again, this is like it's one of those things where I talk about. Again, we have issues at receiver. Jerry Jeudy must have washed his booty. He didn't stink today. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I think Jerry Jeudy, outside of what? That Tennessee game? Outside of that Tennessee game, like, probably played his best game. Like, to say that 2 out of the last 3 weeks is kind of impressive considering the fact that Jerry Jeudy has been absolutely rotten. But, like, Jerry Jeudy legitimately, like, I'm sitting there like, oh, shit, he caught the ball. Then he caught the ball in coverage. I'm like, wait, this motherfucker actually know how to catch the ball today? So, like, Jerry Jeudy played a solid game, but, like, it wasn't enough. And, like, missing Fannin shows. Like, missing Fannin that entire game showed because Shedeur literally lost his security blanket. Like, Fannin has, what, 72, 73 catches? 72 catches because he walked in with 70. He got the 2 and still got the touchdown, right? He has 5 receiving and rushing. So, like, losing that security blanket that has been the Swiss Army knife of this entire offense, like it showed instantly because at first they couldn't really like even with Fannin not making a lot of catches, he made 2 catches, but they were so focused on Fannin that it did open up for Jerry Jeudy. It did open up for Bates. It did open up. I think Cedric Tillman had that 1 catch when Fannin, can't remember if Fannin was already going in the game or anything like that, but like the passing game was more open and more fluid with Fannin out there on that field. Because like I said, even if he's not making every single catch, his presence, his ability to play opens things up for the other receivers. And it showed early in this game. So it was very unfortunate that we lost Fannin. So that's like the bad side or the really ugly side of things. And he had a groin injury Friday. They pretty much evaluated it, kept an eye on it, said he was good to go. I don't think Fannin plays against Cincinnati next week. I think Fannin is done for the season. So we got 1 game left. There is no playoffs. Even if it was playoffs, I wouldn't think he would play against Cincinnati. But losing Fannin was a huge deal. It was a huge deal to this offense. It changed the course of his offense, right? The ugly side, again, is the interceptions. But I am going to sit back and say this. This is going to sound like I'm defending Shedeur. I've been doing a lot of defending of Shedeur. I've also, if you guys have stuck around this entire time, you guys know I've defended. I've also pointed out flaws in Shedeur. But overall, I like more of what I'm seeing from Shedeur than the ugliness. Like with Dillon Gabriel, it was nothing but just straight hot boo-boo garbage trash, right? But like Sanders, there's something there, right? And again, another batted pass that got turned into an interception because he made the read too late. He made the throw too late and tried to squeeze in a tight window when Highsmith already assessed it and snuffed it out, right? And to me, that like, you know, I kind of defended the batted pass because I'm like, batted passes into interceptions happens, tip drill, that's why they run it, everything like that. But like, that was like one of those things where like, even if it was batted, that ball was getting picked off. The ball was getting picked off. Like, no doubt about it. There is no, oh, it hit the helmet, just threw it. Like them, it like hitting the helmet of the defender, like actually like sped the trajectory of the ball a little bit more. But like that ball was just getting picked off regardless. Like it just helped Highsmith's timing a little bit better. Like Highsmith was able to adjust to the timing of that interception. And then the one that he just like threw up to Jerry Jeudy, like before he's about to get sacked, it wasn't necessarily like a bad decision when you look back at the tape, because you can literally see Jerry Jeudy just like in this island for a brief moment by himself. So I don't knock Shedeur for making that throw or deciding to making that throw. I just thought it was a bad overall throw because like I just think he just like, man, I gotta throw it up there. I'm about to get hit. But if he would have just took the time to just like, I know it's bang bang, right? You know, I'm not out there, whatever it may be, but if he took the time to just zip the ball there, I think it would have been a less likely chance of it getting intercepted because, like, by the time he threw the ball was floating up there. I mean, it was literally like a slow motion movie. You know how we watched those movies back in the day when we were kids, and like the final shot or the final throw would like be thrown up, and instead of it seeing in real time, it's just moving in slow motion, and it's just dramatic, and the ball is spinning, and everybody's just like, "Oh my god, it's gonna go in" or anything like that. And like that's kind of what happened with that second interception. Like he just chucked it up there, and it gave the defensive back time to react to the ball in the air and to make. And like, it not only did it give him time to react to the ball in there, it gave him time to box out Jerry Jeudy. Like Jerry Jeudy got completely boxed out for that interception. And like, that's the only gripe I got about Jerry Jeudy. It's like, you gotta fight for that, right? Like, even if you don't make the catch, you gotta fight. You gotta fight to knock that ball out. You gotta fight to box him out. Anything that can help your quarterback out. And that's like what separates the good to the great wide receivers. Then sometimes to separate the decent to the good wide receivers. Like I can't, like I said, I can't. I'm not sitting back and saying, well, Shedeur is perfect and everything like that. Like, no, you should have like threw the ball out of bounds, right? Because I think like he was just outside of the pocket to where he can throw the ball out of bounds. But like I get why he threw the ball to Jeudy, because Judy's literally waving his hand like I'm wide open, and Shedeur sees him that he's wide open, and he just left the ball like way too long in the air. I thought again Shedeur did a good job at handling pressure. I thought he did a good job at rolling out. I thought he did a solid job at just not climbing backwards and retreating. Like he just didn't retreat. He stood tall in the pocket. Like at this point, he knows he's gonna get hit, right? He knows it. Like plain and simple. Like every quarterback knows, but he knows that he's gonna really get hit. So he's standing better. He's standing better tall in the pocket. There are some things that he like decision making, like the one sack that he ended up giving up where he had Bates open in the flat, but he didn't look his way initially. That was like a mistake right there. But overall, like he stayed calm, he stayed poised. There is something there with Shedeur Sanders, and I think that Andrew Berry is not just looking at the win-loss. Andrew Berry is not just looking at the stat sheets. He's looking at how he's performing on and off the field. And I think Shedeur has done enough to where the conversation should be had of, if we're not building the entire future around Shedeur, we need to build enough to where he is the bridge towards the future. At the end of the day, Shedeur is a 5th round pick. But I think there is enough to sit back and go, we might have to get a quarterback in 2027, because the 2026 draft class is not strong. You got Dante Moore, you got Hernandez, and that's pretty much it. Like from what I'm hearing, is that the 2027 draft class for the quarterbacks is supposed to be borderline exceptional and is way deeper than this draft. So do you sit back and go, because you're not going to get Mendoza. Like with this win, you're not going to get Mendoza. And the way Dante Moore's stock is rising, you're probably not going to get Dante Moore neither if you're sitting at 5 or 6, unless you trade both of your first round picks to move up to that position. And I don't think there is enough evidence to definitively go, okay, we have to move up in the draft to get this quarterback when you have Shedeur on the team. I think if we had just strictly Dillon Gabriel, then I would be more like, you know what, you got to make the trade up. But the important thing is that we're having this conversation of, is Shedeur the answer for the future? Is Shedeur not the answer whatsoever? Or is Shedeur the answer for a bridge for a better future? Right? And that's the thing that we're trying to figure out. Right now, what it tells me, at least bare minimum, like the floor, is that Shedeur is good enough to where you can put pieces together to get ready for your future quarterback. That's what it says to me. I think that's the floor. And I think that's not just the floor. I think that's reality. Like no fanfare, no defending Shedeur because he's black, no defending Shedeur because I like him or anything like that. Like just straight, cold, honest facts. Like Shedeur at this point has shown me, and I think shown to a lot of Browns fans, is that he is good enough to be a bridge gap quarterback for 2027. Let's say you get him out there, full off season with the ones, full training camp with the ones, full season with the ones, barring an injury, and let's see what he can do. Because you're going to go, yep, he's the bridge, and you're going to go, yep, he's the franchise quarterback. I think those are the two options. To me, there is no, he stinks, he's rotten, trade him for a 6th-round pick. That's Dillon Gabriel. Stink, rotten, trade him for a 6th-round pick. But Shedeur's not that. Defense. Good, bad, and ugly on the defense. Good or bad, Myles Garrett didn't get his sack record. And all these teams are watching and preparing for Myles Garrett. I'm questioning if he gets a sack record, but he is playing against Cincinnati, so he might. They're definitely going to try him out there to try to get the sack record. And if he gets it early, which he's going to probably try to get early, then he can sit out for the rest of the game. So that's bad on the defense. The good of the defense is everything. This defense showed you why it's one of the best defenses in the league. It showed you why it's one of the best defenses to play, like to play at home. Why you don't want to play the Cleveland Browns at home when you're on the offensive side of the ball. Like they contain, like you got 2 running backs in Pittsburgh who each have like combined like 500 plus yards of scrimmage, like more than, like better than any other running back duo in the NFL over the last like 6 weeks, right? So you got that. You got I think Gainwell and Warren. So you got that going for Pittsburgh, and they was able to contain that and shut that down. They kept Pittsburgh out of the end zone. And did it help that there was no DK Metcalf? Absolutely, because it took the deep threat away. That was the thing that killed us in that first game, on top of having Dillon Gabriel throw the ball 60 times, was we could not contain DK Metcalf whatsoever in the deep ball game. And I think that was Tyson Campbell's first game with the Browns as well, which was very odd because if you look back at the tape, like Tyson was on DK Metcalf a lot, but like the defense showed up to the plate. And the one thing we griped about with the defense this year is like they would show up to the plate, but like when it comes time to hit that home run, they swing and they miss. Today they hit the home run. Packers, I'm not Packers. Jeez, I'm thinking Packers because Aaron Rodgers. Steelers at the goal line, 4th and goal, game on the line. Steelers are tight. They probably have the balls to go for it. I think, and I think that's another thing. Like I think if Pittsburgh scores that touchdown, I don't think Pittsburgh plays for overtime. I think they go for the win because the division was on the line. Go for the win, get the 2-point conversion. You just drove down the field. You demoralized the Cleveland Browns defense. Go for 2, get the win. You don't have to worry about Baltimore. I think they would have went for 2. I don't think it would have been a guaranteed extra point. I don't think Mike Tomlin would have played for the overtime. I think he would have played for the win. But that didn't happen. Was it a questionable non-call? Absolutely, because Denzel really didn't play the ball. He more like played Scantling. Vadkes, Scanlon, whatever the fuck his last name is, right? And that's no disrespect. He got a weird last name. But like the fact that like Pittsburgh probably got a blessing in disguise in this as well. Like now that I'm sitting there, like the gears are turning and I'm starting to think because like Pittsburgh probably realized trading Pickens was a bad decision. I think they've been realizing, but this was the first time. And it comes at a crucial time to where, especially to go against the best pass defense in the league, to where Pittsburgh probably looked at this and go, we really don't have any other receivers besides DK Metcalf. Because the passing game wasn't open. The Browns are doing a great job at stopping the run. Easily, the Browns defense best run defensive game since the loss of Malik Collins, for the season. So I think Pittsburgh is like sitting there thinking like, okay, we got to go get another wide receiver. And it's weird because they had that wide receiver in Pickens. Like we saw with Dallas what Pickens can do without the number one. Without the number one out there, we saw what he could do. And Pittsburgh saw what he could do. But it probably didn't phase them all like that because one, hey, we made a decision. It is what it is. But DK was playing so good where it covered up the glaring problems that they have at wide receiver outside of DK Metcalf. They have glaring issues. Yes, they got Fairmouth. Yes, they got Washington. Yes, they got Hayward, to play fullback and tight end, anything like that. Yes, they got those guys, right? But Washington is the guy that you use to get short to cover the sticks, right? Like you can throw it to him even if they defended the sticks, he's gonna get the first down. Fairmouth is your occasional, middle pass, mid-range pass threat right there, but he's not a game changer. Like we literally saw the Browns go, you can beat us with the tight ends. We got the wide receivers covered. Like looking at Pittsburgh's wide receiver room without DK Metcalf, it's the exact same as the Browns. They got problems with separation. They got problems with catching the ball. They got problems with run blocking. They had glaring issues at wide receiver. Plain and simple. Like it showed today. And it's going to show, in my opinion, it's going to show if it becomes a pass-happy game next week against the Baltimore Ravens. So that is the very good of the Browns as well, is that they expose Pittsburgh's wide receiver room. And because of that, a lot of teams, rather Pittsburgh makes it to the playoffs. If Pittsburgh makes it to the playoffs, a lot of teams are just going to go, we're going to double, maybe even triple cover DK Metcalf. We're going to put our best corner on him. We're going to put a safety to shell over the top. And that's all we're going to do. We don't care what Scanlon can do. We don't care what Fairmouth can do. We might do a safety right there at Fairmouth just to cover that up. But we really don't care what Washington do, what he do. We don't care. We just going to make sure DK don't beat us. And we're going to stop your run game. Because that's the Steelers' strength right there. That's the Steelers' strength right there is their run game. And we took that away, and they had no deep passes. They had no deep coverage because he took himself away from that. So that's the good. That's not the cigar, by the way. That's my incense burning. But like we took away, partially because of him, we took away the deep passes, and really we exposed that Pittsburgh doesn't have a deep threat, not named DK Metcalf. So it makes DK Metcalf more valuable. And like I said earlier in the broadcast, if Pittsburgh loses this division, they're going to point to DK Metcalf. They're not going to point to this game. From a Pittsburgh point of view, they're not going to point to this game. I think a lot of Steelers fans kind of like had that feeling that they weren't going to win this game here. And if there's any Steelers fans in the live, let me know. Did y'all guys prior to the game starting, prior to right now, did you guys think that you guys are going to win this game easily, or did y'all kind of had a feeling that you guys weren't beating the Cleveland Browns? And what was the reason why? Like, I want to know what y'all think as well. But the Browns did a good job at containing, or really just like in a sense shutting down Pittsburgh. Because like what? Pittsburgh got 2 turnovers, and they managed 3 points off those turnovers. They managed 3 points off those turnovers. Like the one interception, Boswell hit the field goal, which by the way, the one that like the first set of points that Pittsburgh scored, I don't know how the hell Boswell made that kick. No clue how he made that 41-yard kick. It was insane. Like bad snap, bad hold, and it doesn't mess up his stride whatsoever. He just gotta speed up just a little bit, and it just curved inside. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. But it got made up for it because he missed a 54-yard field goal, which they showed us. I think he's like only hit 2 field goals past 40 yards or past 45 yards in Brown Stadium. So the Browns did a great job. like I said, Pittsburgh top 5 in takeaways. They got 2, and they proceeded to only produce 3 points. They were in field goal range both times, or they got in field goal range both times, and was able to produce just 3 points. Special teams, another solid job with special teams. It wasn't an issue. The one punt by Bjorkes was arguably like the play of the game, because we're sitting at our 19-yard line. And we just got 3 and out. It's like 5 minutes to go in the game. And Bjorkes legitimately flips the field. And to our special teams, which has been a massive fucking gripe all year long, all the rants I've been through, you guys can go back and watch the rants about the special teams. Like, our inability to run gunners down the field, no issue with that. Back-to-back weeks, no issues with our gunners, no issue with our blocking. It's like Ray Vitrone is coaching hit for his fucking job. It's the fancy stays. Maybe he lets Ray Vitrone go. Still ship him off to Pyongyang. So there is no bad or ugly with the special team. Like Bjorkes, to me, funny enough, the punter had, outside of the Harold Fannin touchdown, had the play of the game, literally flipping the field and making it more difficult for Pittsburgh to drive down the field and score the game-tying touchdown, because it was about 5 minutes left. No, it was actually under that. That was their first of 2 of that was right before the 2-minute warning. It just clicked in my head. That was right before the 2-minute warning. Run the clock out, which, nowadays you see coaches call that timeout to save themselves some time, which, but like Tomlin is a bit old school. And Tomlin wanted those three timeouts in his back pocket, which benefited them to give him a chance to win, because he trusted his defense to get the Browns on the 3 and out, which happened. And then they used those 3 timeouts when they got that 3 and out. And he trusted Aaron Rodgers to drive down the field and potentially win the touchdown. And they were about 7 yards away. So Tomlin managed that very, very well and trusted his team very, very well. But Bjorkes flips the field. Literally gets, I think what, at their 22-yard line or something like that. And we was able to force a 3 and out off of that. So to me, very most important play outside of what ended up being the game-winning touchdown or the game-sealing touchdown. That was Harold Fannin for I think that was 30-some yards, 20-some yards, something like that. So that's good. Now the good, bad, and ugly with the coaching. I thought we managed the game pretty well, considering the fact everything going on. The untimely bad penalties. Again, the taunting call by 5. Like, what the fuck? Like, and I'm not even gonna blame that on. I'm gonna blame it on coach a little bit, because that is talked about. But like, we saw a lot of jaw talking between both teams throughout this entire game, especially at the end, where like it looked like Harrison and Rodgers were going at it, and someone had to pull them away on the Browns. It's like, hey, dude, we just got to stop. Like, chill out. Like, we just got penalized for this shit earlier today. So, like, overall, just like, to be honest with you, the defense picked up the slack for the offense. The offense did what it was supposed to do early on, and the defense took over and took care of the rest, and the special teams didn't melt down. So we smoked on that Steelers pack. Now we going to talk about Kevin Stefanski's victory speech here. And please hit that like button. Please share. Please comment. Please subscribe. The whole 9 yards. As we get this ready, get this up and loaded, up and going.
How this team fights. Whatever's in front of us, we fight. We fight for 60 minutes together, because we care about each other. We got one more fight together. We got one more to go out together, okay? I'm giving out one game ball here, and there's some great individual efforts, some great ones. I don't even know what this guy's stats were, but he's playing on one leg, and he personifies the fight in this football team. That's Carson Sweston.
Fuck yeah. Absolutely.
Hey, appreciate your boys. Hey, I love going out there with you guys. Hey, I'm gonna fight until I can't walk. You gotta carry me off the field. All right?
Way to fight for 60 minutes together. Team on three. 1, 2, 3.
And I'll say this, and I know I didn't mention Schlesinger, but like, my God, dude. Again, Schlesinger was on one leg again. Like, you saw him hobbling around, stayed out there, played the whole time. There were a few times where he tried to like stop Fairmouth like going down the middle, and like Rodgers was able to just throw it over him. But Schlesinger still jumping up for the ball and going to go get it. Still jumping up and going to go get it. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and let's talk. Let's go ahead and let's go over Kevin Stefanski's comments right here.
Okay, love how this football team fights. Love that we, get to even that season series versus a division rival. Get to do it in front of our fans. So I'm just extremely grateful for that group in there. How hard they play for 60 minutes. That's what they do at practice. It shows up in games. So plenty to clean up like there always is. But to beat, a good football team, it says a lot about that locker room. So I'm proud of those guys. But with that, I'll take any questions.
What can you say about would it have been so much nicer, obviously, for Miles to be able to get the sack record at home today?
He's celebrating in there. So he likes to win.
What do you think his presence, how did that affect the way Aaron Rodgers played today?
Yeah, I think Miles affects every single game, Jeff. Obviously, he shows up in the stat sheet in a bunch of different areas, but even the things you don't see, how they have to play the game. I mean, they have to play an empty the entire game and chip both sides. Those are two eligibles, that aren't getting out in the route immediately. So it affects how teams play us.
Kevin, you talked about the effort and the way these guys are playing. The way this season has gone, it would have been easy for a lot of people would see to kind of pack things up. What is it about this group that they don't seem to?
Yeah, I know this group too well. I know how important this game is to them, how important it is to me. We only know one way.
What can you say about Denzel there at the end? I'm not sure Rodgers targeted him all game, and then
he played really well. He's a great player. Great to have him back out there. That's a lot of time there for a Hall of Famer. So we knew they were going to make their plays, but our guys made one more than they did.
And I'll say this, I don't think he target Denzel all game, which is a compliment to Denzel. That means Denzel is doing exactly what the fuck he's supposed to be doing. He is. And Denzel has always been one of the more underrated defensive backs, and partially because he hasn't been able to stay healthy. But again, he went to Denzel and Denzel delivered. Questionable at the end of the call, but you know what? I'm gonna be real. Pittsburgh fans, if you're out there, you can't stand me for that, and you're gonna go to bat for this. You guys got to break against Detroit. You guys got to break against Detroit. Some people are like, well, that was definitely pass interference right there. And offensive, you guys got to break against Detroit. You guys really did. And it was that offensive pass interference that y'all was able to get away with, or I should say got blessed with, came back and bit y'all on the ass today in more ways than one. Not just with that, but also with DK Metcalf.
What can you say just in general about this defensive effort to hold them down and hold Aaron Rodgers down the way they did?
Yeah, outstanding. And a bunch of individual efforts. Obviously, Miles getting all the attention he got. I thought Tyson was outstanding. I thought Carson battled and fought like he always does and ends up tackling the guy to the ground. Just a bunch of individual efforts, and just that was what was required today.
And I'll tell you this, Schlesinger better be Defensive Rookie of the Year. He has shown it I think he has well over 145 tackles or something like that. So he better win Defensive Rookie of the Year. And y'all know I don't like Mary Kay on this damn channel. Y'all know I don't like her whatsoever. Oh boy, this win right here. I can hear the trumpets right now. Mary Kay really, and this is why Kevin Stefanski should keep his job, because look at how those guys fought so hard with it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's why you need to keep Kevin Stefanski. That's why you need to kick it. He says my name in press conferences. He says, good job, good answer, good question, Mary Kay. He says, good question, Mary Kay. I can hear the trumpets right now.
Talk about individual efforts. The special teams have been sort of maligned all season, but when you needed the field flipped, How big was that punt that Corey got off?
That was huge. Dre kept coming through in his field goal attempts. Corey, when we needed him, doing a great job playing that field position game. I thought the guys did a great job.
And Schmidt is like what 11 straight field goals in a row he's made. I don't want to say this because I might jinx it, but like I genuinely think the Browns might have found a kicker in Schmidt. Like he's not like your Cam Little or your Matt Prater, but he's gonna go out there and he's gonna deliver. Like yes, he had the bad. It showed that the Cincinnati game was just a bad game. It's just a bad game in the worst way possible. But here go Mary Kay with another question because she got to ask him, Kevin, right here, Kevin. Answer my question, Kevin.
Shedeur, how do you wrap up Shedor's performance today?
Yeah, obviously he wins. Got to win, so that's great for the young man. Gets to beat Pittsburgh, gets to beat a division rival. So they're not going to be easy, not in this division. So proud of him for that. There's always things he can clean up. I thought we got a little unlucky on that first interception. We can certainly learn from the second one, and he will. But yeah, he continued to battle.
Kevin, what do you think changed that? Because it seemed like Shedeur was really in control until, he got hit on that first interception. It wasn't really his fault. But after that, just some mistakes maybe we would have liked to have back. What do you think maybe changed?
I don't think anything changed, Daniel. I think it's a good defense. We made a few plays early. We'll look at the ways that we can make a few plays later, too.
And I thought Pittsburgh's defense did a good job changing up their looks in the middle of that game. They clearly made adjustments to Shedeur Sanders' play as they went about the game. So I don't think nothing necessarily changed with Shedeur. I just think between Pittsburgh's adjustments and losing Harold Fannin definitely helped out Pittsburgh's case in like making Shedeur look a little frazzled. But Shedeur is playing better and better every week, whether it's showing up on the stat sheet or not. He's doing things and it helps having a former quarterback that played at a high level. Say what you want to say about Tony Romo. Tony Romo was the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for 10 years. That speaks volumes. I don't care what he did with it or whatever, how good or how bad he was the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Did I say Dallas the first time? Anyway, he was a starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for 10 years. So to have Tony Romo out there and assess his game in real time and to relay that back to the audience, I thought was absolutely beneficial for Shedeur because he was able to point out what Shedeur was thinking, why Shedeur did what he did, was able to point out the very good things that Shedeur does that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, and it was also critical of what he thought of Shedeur at moments. Even that second interception, he was like, he shouldn't have thrown that, but you know what? He'll learn from that. I wasn't the biggest fan of Tony Romo. Even when like everybody was praising him, I wasn't the biggest fan of Tony Romo. I thought this was one of the best games I've heard Tony Romo commentate. Like I thought that it was very refreshing. And I'm not just saying that because of Shedeur, but I just think the entire game, Tony Romo was on 10 today. Like I thought he did a phenomenal job. And not like, I don't know, Jim. I don't know. It wasn't a lot of that today. Like he did a great job breaking down the game, like the way a color commentator is supposed to. I thought he did a phenomenal job.
How hard is it to lose Harold, your top weapon in a game like this?
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Had the 4 tight ends up just because of that injury on Friday. So he's a huge part of what we do. You saw it right away when it happened, but that was an incredible job adjusting to that football. It was a good read by Shedeur. And then to get in the end zone was great. But yeah, he was missed, like you can imagine.
Kevin, did Wyatt re-aggravate the calf?
He did.
It looked like Carson was fighting through something. Did you see that too?
Yeah, he was fighting through. I'll update you guys tomorrow, but a bruise.
And then you mentioned the winning at home in your opening, but just how special is it to win the finale this year after?
Yeah, we love playing in front of our fans. We love that they stick with us. We love the energy that they bring to this building, and we wanted to reward them with a win versus a division opponent.
And by the way, I have been seeing the Kevin Stefanski supporters have come out Yeah, they left. They flipped sides. They went under the rock that they living under the last 3 months. But they coming out of woodworks today. When you beat Pittsburgh, everything feels good. Now here come the nosebleed section's favorite. Here she come. Here she comes.
Satisfaction in preventing the Steelers from clinching today on your grass?
Honestly, Mary Kay, it's a division game. That's really all you have to say. I'm aware of all those type of things, but that's not what's important to us.
How much was the wind a factor? And is that why you didn't go for the
Yeah,
one?
huge factor. Didn't know that the wind was going to be as significant as it was today. Thought there'd be more precipitation. There was not, at least throughout the game. So early, just watching through pregame, thought that it would be the best thing to take that football and then get the win in the fourth.
Is that why you didn't try that long field goal?
Correct.
I know you talked about this a little bit, but what is it about this football team that they are fighting so hard and they show so much heart and soul, and here they are at the end?
I mean, it's just our DNA, Mary Kay. Obviously, and I know we can talk about the big picture later, but in the meantime, small picture, division opponent in front of us. They love playing together. They love playing next to, their brothers, and that's just what we're about.
All right, that's Kevin Stefanski. We never went over the scores of the game of the NFL. So let's go ahead and let's go through that. So excited to beat Pittsburgh and everything. Miami beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-17. The Carolina Panthers lost to the Seattle Seahawks 27-10 in Sam Darnold's return. So that game will be between between Carolina and Tampa is going to be on the line. That is the NFC South right there. Both teams lost. And we talked about this on the preview show for week 16, that it was very important for Carolina to beat Tampa because I didn't believe they were going to beat Seattle. And I thought it was a possibility that Tampa could beat Seattle, beat Miami, but they lost against Miami. And Carolina lost against Seattle. So we got an NFC South division title on the line next week. The New England Patriots put belt to ass. I ain't got my belt on me today. Put belt to ass on the New Jersey Jets, 42-10. It's like the Jets didn't even leave the house today. My God. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the living dog crap out of the Arizona Cardinals, or the living bird crap out of the Cardinals, 37-14. Trey McBride does set a single season record for most receptions by a tight end, surpassing Zach Ertz. He got 117. So congratulations to Trey McBride. Tristan Law, what's up? It's good to see you. Thank you for the comment. Excellent coverage. Thank you so much. If you guys love wrestling content, please go over to the Tristan Law. So please hit that like button, share, and comment, subscribe to him as well for great wrestling content, great wrestling opinions. That is the number one guy you definitely want to check out, and a friend of the channel, friend of the nosebleed section. So shout out Tristan. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see. The New Orleans Saints were able to make a comeback against the Tennessee Titans to win 34-26. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Indianapolis Colts 23-17. I don't think they clinched the division. Let's see if they clinched the division. Let's see. They did not clinch the division because Houston is still on their heels, which we're going to break down their, the playoffs or whatever may be, the playoff scenarios and everything like that. Let's see. I don't watch football, but I know as a New Yorker, the Jets aren't good. People who like the Jets like to be disappointed. Yes. And people who like the Browns love to be disappointed as well. But the Browns and the Jets were like two peas in a pod. We like to, but man, I know what Jets fans are going through, like with their playoff drought, because legitimately, it's been 15 years, going on 16 years, the last time they made the playoffs. And us Browns fans, we endured that for 18 years. So they up there with us, and they can't find their quarterback or anything like that. So two peas in a pod, but a bunch of turmoil, bad ownership, bad management, bad everything. And if it wasn't for the Browns, the Jets would be the absolute laughing stock. I think the Jets get a slight pass because of their market sometimes. I don't know. Let's see. The New York Giants put belt to ass on the Las Vegas Raiders. So the winner of the Tank Bowl is the Las Vegas Raiders. They lost to the Giants 34-10. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Buffalo Bills 13-10. I think that's all the scores we got covered. Oh, we can't forget about our earlier games, our Christmas games. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Communist Party 30-23. The Minnesota Vikings eliminated the Detroit Lions out of the playoffs with a 23-10 victory over the Detroit Lions. And the Denver Broncos secured the AFC West with a win against the Kansas City Chiefs 20-13. But they needed some help from the Houston Texans, and they got that help with the Houston Texans beating the Los Angeles Chargers 20-16. They always say you can take the Chargers out of San Diego, but you can't take the San Diego out of the Chargers. And the Baltimore Ravens, we talked about this earlier. The Ravens beat the Green Bay Packers. So we got AFC North on the line. We got NFC South on the line. And if you guys have been watching the previews, have been checking out this channel from the very beginning, you guys know that we called this. We said this is exactly what's going to happen. We're going to have 2 division titles on the line. Week 18, very, very meaningful games. And again, we called it when we kept talking about the playoffs, kept talking about who could get in, who can get out. We said, these are the teams, all these teams on both sides are locks. The only thing they could change is the 2 division winners, and we've got a showdown, 2 divisional showdowns for that. It is going to be absolutely amazing. Let's go ahead and let's go to Shedeur Sanders and his comments as he talked about his first division win, his first win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and his second career win against the in NFL. And what better way to do it again against the team that is 2.5 hours away from where I'm sitting at right now.
So how did it feel, Shedeur, to get the win against, a rival team that was trying to clinch a playoff spot?
It felt good. It felt good getting the win overall, and especially the team we won against. I think it's bittersweet because I feel like offense, we got to do our part. I got to do my part, a little bit more. We can't be happy with only 10 points. 13? Yeah, 13 points on the board. So, we just got to be able to put up more points.
To get that win, though, your first win here at home, how cool is that in front of your fans?
Yeah, it's extremely exciting to get the win at home for sure. I've been needing to win at home for a minute. So so that's what's good. That's what I'm excited for, that we brought that feeling back in this place.
Shedeur, you started out hot the first 2 series, went right down the field, and then there was a lull. Did they adjust to you, or it's just a tough fought game throughout?
I'm not sure, honestly. Like they got good players, they got good coaches too. So of course, whenever we're having a lot of success, they're gonna make adjustments and everything. But I haven't watched the film to be able to know, exactly. I know it was a couple passes, like for sure to get back down to the check down, to get back down to there. But I just didn't do it. So, it's just something to learn from.
And I say this too, like, this is the Browns' first home win because they got that win against Las Vegas in November. This is their first home win since we had put that belt to ass on the Miami Dolphins when we won 31-16. We won 31-6. Now we won 13-6 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, Pittsburgh is 6-1-1 since 2017 in our building.
Can you just maybe address the nice job that Harold Fannin did on the touchdown catch, and then how tough was it then to see him have to leave the game after that with a groin injury?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like we kind of knew going into the game he was banged up, so it wasn't really like super surprising. We got great players on the Hungry Dogs, so Sal was able to come back in and be able to get his feet wet.
I mean, dude, like, one, Shedeur looks just like his father. Like, especially when he put that bright-ass smile on his face, looks just like Deion. He got that Deion Sanders smile. Yeah, between losing Fannin and, you know what, I ain't even going to call him number 5. We about to look. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. What's his name? Rashawn Jenkins taunting penalty. That killed a lot of momentum for the Browns because, like, we were consistently moving the ball. Our defense was like on fire. We get them to 3 and out. We were able to like go down the field, score that touchdown. And like, this is the part we forgot. Like, they complete a good pass up the perimeter to I think it was Scantling that caught that pass. And then, Scantling was the one that caused the pass interference because they said that big play. And Tony was like, I don't know if that's a big play. I'm like, yeah, that's a big play. We got called for that plenty of times. But, then, we get that. We get the stop. Washington gets, 10 yards of that, right? And then Rashawn just yeah, I'm going to taunt. I'm going to taunt now. And kill momentum. Imagine Rashawn doesn't do that. We get 2 3-and-outs on Pittsburgh. It probably changes the course of the entire game in the favor of the Browns, because I think we had Pittsburgh on their heels and we weren't able to capitalize off of
that. The conversation with I heard Snoop called you before the game. Just
No, I called him.
But just
I think I don't know. I gotta check my phone, but I think I had a missed call from him. And then, or a text, something. I don't know. Then I just called my uncle, 6:30, called him. I'm like, dang, bro, why are you still up? And he was like, bro, I'm excited, bro. He was excited they just got the win. And he was definitely words of encouragement and stuff for me. But that's just how he is. He not just doing that just because it gives them, a chance now. I think the overall person he is and the time that we have spent together, he did nothing but speak life into me, and I truly appreciate him for that.
Shedeur, how much have you guys as an offense grown to appreciate what Andre Schmidt's been able to do since those early season struggles, and now he's been so consistent?
Yeah. I would say just the relationship with Andre, for sure. We had a conversation, when he was going through it, and then since then it been nothing but up. So I'm very happy that he was able to get out that hole that he was in, and that he's able to see the other side of things. I think that's the only thing I think about whenever I look at him, whenever I see him. I'm just excited. I'm just happy that he was able to see the other side of things.
How impressive was that performance by the defense that once you guys stopped scoring for a bit, that they were able to?
Yeah, that's how the Browns defense usually is. That's how they usually are.
Shedeur, several weeks ago, you came into a home game against the Baltimore Ravens, and you felt that you didn't play that well in your first opportunity. Mm-hmm. What would you say about your maturation and your growth since then to have this home victory against a division rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers?
I ain't gonna. I've never heard that reporter talk before. I don't even know who that is. If y'all know who that is, let me know. I never heard that reporter say anything. Is she affiliated with the team, or she was able to get a press pass? Never heard that. It sounds like a black woman too. But I never heard that woman whatsoever.
I'll say overall, I'm able to see the field and the game slow down for sure. I think the main thing is I just like throwing the ball. I just like throwing the ball a lot, and in some situations, you can't just throw your dog a bone. Sometimes you gotta be able to know when it's calculated risk. But I feel like our players are better than their player, so I just gave my guy a chance, and we just ain't come down with it, and that's just how I go.
A lot of the vets in the locker room were talking about how they're not really worried about draft pick position and stuff like that, and how really their focus as players about especially Joe. He said this is about setting a culture for a lot of the young guys like you in the rookie class. You talked about changing the culture. How do you think that this win takes a step forward in doing that?
I think in the building and everything, we've been pretty consistent with what we've been doing. The only difference is now we got the result we're supposed to get, So I don't think the difference between a win and loss is a couple of plays. It wasn't about how you're going about your business, how you're doing everything. Everybody's going about their business the same way. Everybody's extremely locked in, extremely focused on what they got to do. But today we just got the result we was looking for.
And I'll say this too, this again, outside of Dillon Gabriel, we have hit on every single pick. With Shedeur, like I said earlier, it's a matter of, is he the bridge gap quarterback for 2027, or is he the actual answer? And that takes time to determine that. But I think Shedeur has done enough. And I would say this, even if we lost today, I think Shedeur has done enough to at least go, he's a bridge gap quarterback. Build around him. If he proves to be the guy in 2026, then we know we got our guy. If not, now we can plug in the guy that we need to plug in.
Ichidori, did you know Snoop before he was here with you in training camp?
Not personally, no.
So how did that connection between you two develop as quickly as it did?
I think because I always smile and he always smiles. I think that's what it is. And then we just talk, and just had a conversation about God and why he feels like he was sent here, just to give me them words of encouragement to keep me going and understand his story and understand how things panned out for him also. So he always told me be ready. And anytime I talk to him, he always positive. And that's kind of like people with the same vibe usually get along with each other.
Did you watch this game last night?
I was one drive and then I went to sleep. Yeah, I be going to sleep early nowadays. I feel like I be running out of time.
Even though this season didn't really go the way that you guys wanted it to, it really seems like there's a close-knit bond on this football team, a brotherhood. There's something special going on here. Can you sort of describe what that is and how you feel about it?
I think it's a group of guys that been through a lot of things within themselves, and I think we all banding together and being one, through any situation, through things that we can't control. We all agree with a lot of things, and I think we the cornerstone of this team.
And I say this, I'm gonna say this about any sports analysis or anything like that. When they sit back and say players or questioning if players are playing for helping the organization with draft position, do y'all hear yourselves? What guy is gonna go, yeah, I'm gonna essentially throw. Now we've seen it with money, but the gambling thing and the money thing is for their benefit, right? They're making a financial gain, a stupid financial gain, but a financial gain nonetheless, right? With players going out there and throwing the game for draft position or not playing hard because of draft position. So that means I'm going to help the organization potentially replace me. See, when you think like that, you kind of go, well, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the gambling thing, we know about that here in Cleveland. Emmanuel Clase. Talking about you, buddy. We know about that, right? But that their thought process is that if I throw this game or if I do better, I'm making a financial gain. What does a player gain for tanking for the organization? What coaches gain from that? Because if I lose, I'm going to get fired. Now, it's a different scenario. Prime example, Aaron Glenn, he's going to have time. But what coach thinks, yeah, I'm going to tank. I'm going to tank. So this team that employs me replaces me and gets better draft position and allows somebody else to come in and build off of what I've been trying to build here. What player goes, yeah, I'm going to tank for the organization. I'm going to tank for the organization so they can replace my ass. Let's think here. Let's use our brains here just a little bit, people.
If you could give yourself advice from that first time you walked on the field to where you're at, it's kind of like what she is, but if you could give yourself a message today for the first time you walked on the field, what would you say? What did you need to know?
I would say definitely know you supposed to be out there dominating. I think what you kind of got to understand also, sitting and everything like that and just watching, it's a mental thing. So it's dang, you start questioning a lot of things, and then sometimes you gotta, me, before the game and stuff, I gotta have a lot of built up anger within myself, because that's why I gotta play with that fire, with that different emotion within me, and I think when you go out there the first time, I think it's more of dang, this dude over there, they cool. But then, when you actually out there, you're I don't care who it is. I'm trying to dominate them, So I think it's that. It's kind of like what I do in the pocket sometimes, whenever people be falling and stuff. Yeah, kind of like that.
A little.
This is the last one.
A little unrelated to football. I saw pregame that someone gifted you a really big carpet. How was that?
Oh, where's that at? You got it? Yeah, we got it at the house now. Yeah, I really love gifts. I don't think for Christmas I got much. So if anybody out there want to send me gifts, I'll post my P.O. box online and just please send clothes, anything, jewelry, bags. Because all my bags got stolen when my house got robbed. So appreciate y'all.
Yeah, Shador going out there playing hard. I did forget about, his house getting robbed out there and stuff like that, which is crazy. Was that I want to say that was the San Francisco, might have been the Tennessee game where his house, and that happens to athletes a lot. Like athletes that are like on the road or in the middle of the game, like people know that, and like they'll go and rob their stuff. So, he's been such a blessing to this community since he's gotten here. Has done well. I know the Garden Valley fire that took place right before the season started. He was out there with the kids, donating things, making the kids feel better, playing football with those kids, and just making the whole neighborhood feel better. He has had such an impact on this neighborhood, on this city since he's gotten here, and that's why there's a lot of love for Shedeur Sanders. So as Browns fans, like, look, we're questioning things, we're evaluating things, but man, do we want to see it work out for him? At least majority of the Browns fans do want to see it work out for him. So we went through all the comments today. We got the Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. That's coming up in about less than 20 minutes at the time of this recording. That's going to have a lot of seating implications. We didn't do a preview show this week because of, the holidays. I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and hope everybody has a Happy New Year. You guys will see me one more time before the New Year's is over with. Like I said, I got the whiteboard right there. So, that's locked and loaded and ready to go. I might make a few changes based off the results of today. But just a little preview. I think if I can flip this board over. Yeah, I got a little flippity do. As you can see, we're gonna do coaching rankings. So y'all ain't gonna see all of it. I got blocked like that much. There you go. So like the bottom three is Vrabel, Ben Johnson, and Liam Cohen. But like it's going from like if you're at 30, your job is pretty much safe. If you're at like number 1, you're like pretty much cooked, buddy. But yeah, we got that locked and loaded. So instead of doing like an NFL Week 18 preview, we're just gonna do a coaching job security preview, and we're just gonna throw in like the 2 games, the NFC division title and the AFC North division title and the NFC South division title. We're just gonna do like kind of like a deep dive on both teams, both games, and see where that goes. And then we're gonna talk about the coaching thing. So we're gonna do something different. But at State of the Channel, that address is coming up as well. More wrestling content is coming up. I haven't decided which retro review I'm going to do yet, but please go check out the NXT TakeOver, very first TakeOver. Go check out that review as well. Get those numbers up. Hit the like button, share, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell. You know what I'm saying? So you don't miss a beat on anything. So you don't miss a live. So you don't miss, the whole 9 yards, the whole shebang, sheboo. Took a while for my little graphic to pop up there, but it did. So, hit that like button, hit share, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, share with all your people and everything like that. I don't think there's any other comments, nothing else to really address or assess or anything like that. Browns get the win, 13-16 to move to 4-12 on the year. So, go Browns. Until next time. And why not? Why not let the Cleveland Browns fight song play us out one good time? Let it play us out, baby. Yes, sir. The Browns do win this game 13-16. Until next time, thank you all for joining the Nosebleed section. This is Tyrell. The next time, signing off. They come from Cleveland. And